this has been one of the bravest decisions taken by a minister. And I think I'm speaking to the converted here, Leila accepted, and possibly Hag, I don't know what Hag's views are. But it's been a decision that had to be taken. It's a decision that's been avoided for years. It's cost the Welsh budget £100 million over the last 10 years. It was projected to cost 80 million by 2014, and it was causing hardship and problems to all dairy farmers, to suckler farmers alike. There's nothing worse than to a farmer than seeing a herd which has been built up in terms of its size and its genetic merit over an extended period of time, and then it's been suddenly wiped out. That is something that had to be dealt with. Now, the one thing I'm asking politicians here of all parties, we have got to be clear in our support, and we've heard that the Assembly has voted unanimously, they were represented from all parties, even though a third of the Liberal Democrats voted against the cull. It is a clear mandate to work. Now, I'm a bit concerned, Mark. I heard you earlier say that you were in favour of the ban, but I had representation the other day from Nghlwb Davies, and he'd been speaking to individuals who you had been canvassing, and you were saying that you told these people that you were thinking of changing your mind because of some evidence that Tony Blair and Hilary Benn had put forward. And this came from two sources. All right, and this is why I want to challenge you tonight. I want to see where you stand exactly on the badger cull. Are you in favour of it, or are you tailoring your message to different communities? Because you can't do that. You can't say on the one hand that you're for it and to other people that you're against it. It's got to be a clear message from politicians to the agricultural community, because this is a blight, it's a cancer, and it's something that has got to be dealt with.
Well, Penri, I can tell you that the clearest indication of anybody, when you stand up in the House of Commons and make a speech about the dairy sector, and you say in that speech you support the cull, as I have done, as I've said to you now, I'm not going to answer speculation and rumour that you and your friends have found, because it is simply untrue. Simply untrue. I can show you, if you were interested, letters from constituents who are appalled by my support of the cull, and you've had them, and Ellen's been subjected to them, all have been subjected to them. What I have said, like any responsible politician, that you stay as well versed as on issues as you possibly can. You look at the conflicting arguments, and I've still come to the conclusion, as did the courts in the judicial review, that Ellen Jones was right to take that action. You mentioned a third of my party. Parties are broad churches. You don't three-line whip every person. You say you want to be an independent member of Parliament in the House of Commons. There are colleagues of mine that have independent minds in the National Assembly. I think they're wrong. And I've told two of them in particular that I believe they're wrong and their views are inappropriate for those of us in rural areas in the dairy sector.
Will you print that?
I have printed it.
No, will you print it before the election?
Print what? Print what?
What you just said. That you go forward.
Well, I suggest if you go back to a few back copies of the Cymru News, you'll find I've already said it. It's been printed in the Cymru News.
Yeah. But why am I coming across people, right, who report to a man such as Nghlwb Davies, who's held in high regard, and he is willing, he went back to check with his people what the heck was going on. And he was surprised that they were willing to vouch that you said that you were revising your view. And this concerns me, Mark.
Well, I haven't revised my view. I have no intention of revising my view. I've stayed consistent with the view that I made in the House of Commons on the 27th of January of this year, and I will continue making that. However, I'm trying to just tell you this. I'll tell you this. So you're clear. I am conscious, very, very conscious indeed, that there are certain sections of this community. Are you standing up? I will. I want to talk to people like you that won't vote for you, and they won't vote for me because of our views and our support for Ellen Jones. And I am more than happy to sign on the dotted line with you and Ellen to support that hunt. And I'm afraid in politics, Penri, when you go around, and you've had a few years of this as well, when you go around you get many mixed messages from constituents, and also I should say, It is not behest to politicians of all parties at election time, a week before the election, to try and make a little mischief. And we're allowed to do that. Don't make mischief, Penri. I've been clear and I will continue to be clear.
I am so pleased that you are unequivocal on this. And I shall go back to Canuck on this, and I will repeat that. And Canuck will go back to these constituents of yours, and they will see and have a few words to say about it.
You tell them to come and see me. You tell them to come and see me.
Can I just say, having visited the Pembrokeshire Against the Cull website this afternoon, there were comments there from the from all candidates in the old Dyfed county.
Right, okay.
2 Liberals objected to the cull.
Yes.
1 had no response, and you said that you were supportive in the short term.
Can I just say that I have said all along,
What does that say? Tell me
what it
the
says is
Liberal
in the
Party.
House of Commons we were told by Hilary Benn that there would not be a commercial vaccine until the year 2015. That is an unacceptable wait for the farmers of this constituency who are grappling with a problem. And I think that knocks the protesters out of the scene altogether. I want concerted action, the 3-pronged attack that Ellen Jones has proposed, and I support her. I've never made a comment to that website. I'd be interested to see it. You're more versed on these things than I. I'm appalled that they can quote me on a website without asking my permission.
Well,
Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me.